All right, welcome to this training module, Team Eagle Training. My name is Lloyd Ross. This topic is leadership development. Leadership development. Don't get spooked by the word leadership. It's not like you on a microphone in front of a big crowd leading them to the hill, to the promised land. It's really just some important traits and qualities and an attitude that you can take into your business for yourself and lead yourself, and a growth mindset to adopt where your growth will dictate how well you can lead others, because a leader's job is to know the way, go the way, and then show the way. Okay. People are trying to show the way, but they don't know the way and they've never gone the way. You see this all the time in coaching. I'm going to coach you to this. I'm like, you've never done that. Right. So it's important as a leader that you actually can then walk the talk. Okay. So that's why having a growth mindset and doing the things first is important. So know the way by learning and growing, go the way by doing, and then reach down and show the way to other people. Right. So obviously what I'm doing here with you is I know the way, I've gone the way, and now I'm showing you the way. That's leadership, right? So learn, do, teach. Learn, do, teach. Don't teach first. Learn first, then do, then teach, right? So that's leadership development. So motivation gets you going. Discipline keeps you growing. Motivation gets you going. Discipline keeps you growing. And discipline comes because of your deep-seated why you're doing this business. And that should just keep you consistently showing up to it, right? And discipline's a word that sounds hard and painful, but it's not. Discipline's like you are really just focused. I would think that's a better word. Focused on your goal, focused on showing up. And I'll say this. If you can be disciplined just to show up and have fun, just show up. Show up, show up, show up. That's all you have to do. I don't know how many people just can't show up. And that's just all you have to do. So if you can't lead yourself, you can't lead others. So leadership begins by you leading yourself. And how you lead yourself is you show up. You show up to the weekly call, you show up to events, you show up for your customers, you show up for your team, you show up on social media, you show up for someone who's building something great, right? You show up as someone who's leading their life, not someone who's in reaction. Okay. You show up as someone who's forcefully building the life they want to live. Okay. It's what you learn after you know it all that counts the most, right? Be a habitual learner. Charlie Munger says, those who succeeded the most in life are learning machines. And by that, I mean, like, be getting books and reading books are going to help you learn. Okay. There's like network marketing books. I'd be getting all the network marketing books I can get my hands on and reading and learning. That's how we did it. And then implementing and learning in the field. Right. And I think too, like, it's really good to read books and network marketing books and other books, but they say that 20 hours of reading is worth 1 hour in the field, or 1 hour in the field doing is worth 20 hours of reading. So it's important to learn, but it's so important to learn through doing, making a mess, getting, ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. So go and be a habitual learner, but learn in multiple ways. Learn. The more you learn, the more you earn. The more you learn, the more you earn. Okay. What are you doing right now to grow yourself? So like there's various things you can do. So you could host an in-home party to grow yourself. You could do Facebook Lives to grow yourself. You could go to Toastmasters to grow yourself. You could read books to grow yourself. You could go to more corporate events and grow yourself. You can go to personal development events and grow yourself. You can actually do a marathon and grow yourself physically and mentally. You can, we've done so many things to grow ourselves. Whatever scares you and frightens you or challenges you, it'll grow you. And public speaking is a good thing to do a lot of. We've gone to Toastmasters, we've bungeed, we've skydived, we've run a 100-kilometer ultra marathon. I've done boxing fights. We've done 10 F45 sessions in a day. We've done multiple speaking gigs in public, in front of people, big events we've run. We've run in-home parties when we didn't want to. We've run, side hustle schools, whatever. Like, if you're doing things that are stepping outside your comfort zone, it's going to grow you. So my question is, what are you doing right now to grow yourself? It doesn't have to be some big thing, but it has to be something that makes you uncomfortable. That's what's going to grow you the most. And what are you doing right now to grow others? So like for me right now, I'm doing this because I want to grow you. So it's important that you do grow yourself, but then it's important to turn around and grow others. Okay. Because if you want to build a big team, it's the growth of the people in your team that matters most. Okay. That's how you scale. A formal education, Jim Rohn says, a formal education will make you a living, but a self-education will make you a fortune. So I see a lot of people doing look at behind me. I've got all these degrees behind me. That didn't make me a fortune. It was self-education that made me a fortune. I read books that really matter. Okay. And I'm just holding this on it because I just having to get a new one. It's not the be all and end all. It's one of Alex Hormozi's books, $100 Million Leads. we're always reading books and trying to improve and grow better, right? Like you should be like thirsty for knowledge. And that's self-education, but learning in the field too, thirsty to learn and ask questions of people that have gone before you and learn from your mistakes. So what are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you watching? And who are you hanging around? Very good questions to determine your speed of learning, your success in life will be these things. This is super important. This is your environment. An environment is stronger than willpower. Environment is, if you hang around the barbershop long enough, you're bound to get a haircut. And so if you want to be a successful person, hang around successful people. So what are you reading? Are you reading books like this? Right? I'll better do this because otherwise, are you reading books like this? Or are you reading fiction? Like, what are you reading? Are you reading trash magazines? Are you reading like online drama stuff? Are you reading the news? Right? What are you listening to? You're listening to just music, rock music, like trance? What are you listening to? Or you're listening to podcasts. Are you listening to Michael Klaus's podcast on network marketing? Are you listening to Fraser Brooks's podcast on network marketing? Are you listening to my podcast on money? Are you listening to, what are you listening to? Because what goes in here in your eyes and what goes in your ears is your environment. So trash in here. You don't want to be putting trash in here or trash in here. Because you get trash in here, you get trashy thoughts, trashy feelings, trashy actions, trashy results. Live a trashy life. You get good things in here. Good things in here. You get good things in here. Good things in here. Feeling good things. Actioning good things. And you'll live a great life, right? Get good results. What are you watching? Okay. And who are you hanging around? This is imperative. Who are you hanging around? Success is sometimes like a virus you got to catch from other people. So get around good people. Get to events. Get on a weekly call. Get around close people and stay around them, right? What entertains you, trains you. So this is what we always try and do. We always try and find the fun in things. Okay. We always try and find the fun in things. So get excited about what you're learning. Get excited about teaching others, right? What you tune into, you turn into. What you tune into, you turn into. So if you're listening, I remember we listened to Michael Klaus's trainings and you can get access to his podcast. I think it's Leadership Principles or something with Michael Klaus on Apple Podcasts. Fraser Brooks is wonderful to listen to. Eric Worre, wonderful. Network marketing people who you want to listen to. So tune into these people and you'll turn into those people. Because I remember we would listen to David Wood and Michael Klaus and these people in the car while we're driving, right? And we would even start talking like them. We would start, like, if you listen to Jim Rohn, if you get to YouTube and listen to Jim Rohn building a network marketing business, I think it's part of the exercises in this, and you listen in the car, you listen at home, you listen all the time, you'll start talking like him, thinking like him, and becoming him, and you'll turn into Jim Rohn, which is a very good thing. He's awesome, right? So what's the biggest secret to success? It's not to get rid or shrink from your problems. The secret to grow yourself is to become bigger than any problem. So they say you can measure a man or a woman by the size of their problems. And what happens in not in network marketing, what happens in success land or what happens in failure land where people go to die is they get addicted to the drama hook. Like it's a drama. And you can tell people are addicted to the drama because they're always in tears. Their husband or wife's always done this. They're just constantly in drama. Like everything's a struggle every week. There's always something popping up in their life. And it's just because they haven't made themselves bigger than their problems. We all have problems. As Jim Rohn says, the same wind blows on us all. It's just some of us have learned to set the sail a certain way. So if you want to change a life, you can't change the wind, but you can change the set of your sail. Okay. So if you are hanging around people who are always addicted to the drama hook, drama, and always a struggle, you're going to go broke hanging around them. So get away from them. Okay. And don't you become the person that's dramatic, right? Leader of one, leader of many. If you can't lead one, you can't lead any. Okay. So the person to lead first is you. If you don't show up, nor will your team. Simple as that. Okay. There's a saying in network marketing, your team will do 100% of what your team will do 50% of what you do and 100% of what you don't do. So if you don't do stuff, they won't do it either. Okay. But if you do stuff, there's a 50% chance they will too. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So what you do matters. That's why you've got to show up even before your team is built. You've got to show up like a millionaire before you become one. Okay. If you wouldn't follow you, Why would anyone else follow you? Ask yourself the question, would I follow me? No. Why? Okay, I'm going to change. I want to become someone that people would want to follow. That's all I've done. I've become the person that I feel I needed at the time I needed them. And that's a secret to becoming a great leader, is to who would you become the person you felt you always needed. I think that's a good way to set up a good standard for yourself. Your capacity to grow determines your capacity to lead. Okay. One of our mentors, David Wood, taught us every master was once a disaster, including me. If I showed you my very first 30-second story video, you'd laugh. If I showed you my first Facebook Live, my first talk, first everything, it's we're nervous and it doesn't work out. You know, we all fail along the journey. But it's not about starting off great. It's about having a growth mindset to understand that you're going to suck and be okay with that and move to the next level and the next level and the next level and keep doing it again and again and again until you become better. And all of a sudden people go, oh my God, you're so good. How'd you do that? You're like, oh, well, I started off, I was a disaster and then I became a master because I kept showing up to do it, right? So your capacity to grow determines your capacity to lead. Okay. So here's 5 leadership tips for you. Number 1, people will imitate our actions long before they listen to our words. I bet you've seen that with kids, right? They model your actions. They don't listen to what you tell them. Our team is like our little children, and they will only imitate your actions. They really will. They'll imitate your actions before they listen to your words. Okay. So actions speak louder than words. That's also why you should follow someone's feet and not their mouth. What are they doing? Right? How are they doing this? Number 2, as you grow in your leadership, you must be hard-headed and soft-hearted. Okay, so be logical, hard-headed, where we're going focused, logical thinking, rational thinking 2 moves ahead, right? But soft-hearted, be kind. Don't crush people. Be empathetic. You learn to do this as you go. And yeah, I had no empathy at the start, and then I learned empathy, and I got better, and I became a better leader. I become softened, and vice versa. You can do either or, right? 3, always cry up with issues and praise down. So you'll find we don't complain down to our team. We don't say, oh, this person did this or this with that, or complain, blame, or justify down into the team. If we have an issue, we only ever cry up or like voice our concerns up to our sponsor or to the corporate team, because you don't need to instill any bickering or politics or hopelessness or lack of belief into your team. I mean, you're never going to build a team if they don't believe. So you never, ever, ever, ever complain down. We don't even complain up. We just praise up and praise down. And Alicia and I might complain. We're going to vent. We're venting, because there's wall kicking moments here when you're building a business, right? But there's a book called, what's it called? I forget what it's called. It's about, it's called, the 4 Agreements. The 4 Agreements. Good book to read about this. Number 4, be slow to be offended and slow to be offensive. Like, don't take things personally. There's going to be things in your team and your customers. They're going to say things. It's going to irritate you. It's going to piss you off. It's going to insult you. It's going to hurt you. It's going to break your heart. It's going to be all this stuff, right? Because people are people and they don't know what they say. And just be water off a duck's back. Just let it go, right? Don't hold on to things. Let it go. Just move, sort and sift through the right good people. Hold on to the good ones. Get the right people on the bus and get the wrong people off the bus, and be good with that, right? That's from Good to Great by Jim. What's his name? Good to Great. Jim Collins. Be slow to be offended and slow to be offensive. Don't offend people, right? Like, it's really, if you ever kind of get that and get angry, just have a sleep at night, wake up the next day, like sleep on it, and then go around it rationally and logically. Okay. Number 5, you can't wait until you need a leader to start developing one. Like, leadership, people are like, where are my leaders in my team? I'm like, well, how are you developing leaders? Are you getting them to run things? Are you getting them to do things? Are you delegating to them? Are you involving them? Are you getting to host a launch party? Are you pushing them out of their comfort zone? Are you encouraging them to do a Facebook Live? Are you encouraging them to do a post? Leadership development begins between you and your first customer. You lead yourself by being a product of the product. You lead your customer by encouraging them and putting belief into them. okay, and setting them up for success. When they're getting success, you're pouring belief and encouraging them and providing recognition for their success to them. Then you're pushing them out of their comfort zone, encouraging them out of their comfort zone by posting their first post on social media, then their first interview with you, then you're getting them on the call and they're talking on the call, and they're just slowly, you're helping them release the grip they have on all their self-confidence, and you're slowly developing this flourishing leader. But it takes little tiny bits at a time. Just a little bit there and a little bit there, and open them up more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, push them out of the comfort, challenge them to step up, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's how you develop leaders. But it starts off with the smallest things like, hey, I really think you should do a Facebook post. I think you get so much love. Are you open to doing that? Just a little bit, right? Okay, awesome. If serving is beneath you, then leading is above you. Okay. So the best leadership is servant leadership. So it might be, I'll be on a course like, what do you guys need from us? How can I serve you today? How can I help you be great today? What do you need from me? How can I encourage you? What do you need? How can I best serve your leadership development today? How can I best serve your business? How can I best serve you? Servant leadership is the best leadership. And the best leaders show, they go, they know, they show, they go. Sorry, they know, they go, they show other people. But then it's also like to serve others too, right? And this is, even doing these videos, we're trying to serve you in such a way to help you succeed faster. And we encourage you to turn around and do that with your team. That's how you become, someone that people can put faith in and trust in, that they're going to be there for them. And you can't disappear at the back door and expect people to build into a leader. You've got to be there all the way. Okay. So how do you become a leader? Okay. Now, again, it's not about jumping on stage and running a big event. I mean, that's part of leadership, but it's not the essence of it either. It's like, that's like the pinnacle, right? So here's the exercises that we encourage you to do if you want to build leadership skills. If you want to become a leader and you do these things, you will have harnessed leadership skills and you will be a leader. So label yourself as a leader. If you do these things, you can label yourself quite proudly as a leader. Go for it. There you are, right? So everyone's waiting for someone to go first. The world needs more leaders. So it may as well be you, right? So here's what you do. Exercise time. Help your customer or team member host an event, a sip and sample, a pamper party, a beach walk. Help your customer or team member host an event. First thing. Second thing, run one of the Rediscover You live webinars using the slides. They can be found in the Manager Factory. The slides are there. Put your hand up. Run one of the live webinars. That'll help you leadership. Run the weekly customer onboarding call we have. Okay, there's a very small section of the call that's for onboarding new customers. Run that part of the call. Run or facilitate a weekly distributor training. We do that on our weekly calls too, right? Run a 90-day or a 60-day or a 6-week side hustle school with your own team. You don't need to go through all of the 12 videos that you're going through here. You don't need to do a 90-day one. Maybe you do a 4-week one. Just choose the videos you want to use in it. But you leverage these training videos to then run your own side hustle school with your own 3 people, 4 people, 5 people. Learn to facilitate, learn to run teams, learn to leverage training tools like this, get some points together, incentivize something with them at the end and give away stuff and run your own little 90-day game plan, right? Listen to Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn on YouTube. If you type that in, Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn, listen to that religiously in the car. Listen to it in the car, listen to it at night, listen to it. Like I've been quoting from it on this training, and I mean, it's just ingrained in my skull, right? Listen to Making the Shift by Darren Hardy. It's an audio book, Making the Shift by Darren Hardy. And listen to the podcast by Michael Klaus called Lessons in Leadership. That's what it's called. Lessons in Leadership by Michael Klaus. Okay. Now, if you listen to those things and you implement what you learn and start running those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 specific key tasks to run, helping customers run an event, run the live webinar yourself, run the weekly onboarding call, the distributor training, and running your 90-day team, 90-day game plan. You do all those things, you're a leader. So go for it. And you don't need many people. Lead 3 or 4 or 5, a team of 5, right? Lead 5 to find 5. And you're going to be on your way to leadership. So go and execute those exercises. And this concludes the bulk of our training in our side hustle school. There is another training below this one, lesson 12, which is actually how to run a power hour. So if you want to learn how to actually jump on a call with your team and actually run through the 6 core building activities, you want to see how we do that, go and watch that video next, lesson 12, the Power Hour lesson, how to run a Power Hour, and you'll see exactly how we use the tools to do it. And you can run them anytime with your team. Okay. And you ought to be getting your team in action. It's like an action taking call. It's really cool, right? So go to that. And that brings us to the end of our training for our Side Hustle School. And of course, you can either duplicate these, run your own Side Hustle schools, or you're in one of ours and you're busting to go and win the Side Hustle School and hopefully get on one of our retreats or win whatever prizes we have at the time. We run these to help you grow and learn. And it doesn't mean just because you've finished these lessons that they're going to be fully instilled in here. So be okay with going back and repeating these like over and over, and always do these, always do these, always do these. Okay. Because these principal lessons we're teaching you in these will never, ever, ever go out of fashion. These are always going to be important. And we know that these are required to build $1 million network marketing business. Why do we know that? Because this is what we did to build $1 million network marketing business. Okay. And we want the same for you. That's what our mission is now, to help you build a 7-figure, 6-figure, whatever it is you want, Isagenix business, following these principles, growing yourself, growing teams, and helping change the world, which we know you can do. So thanks for tuning into this. Go Team Eagle, and we'll see you at the next live event.